This is how you normally do.
Okay, it's time to make croissants. But maybe it will work, maybe it won't. Apparently croissants take a lot of practice. But I'm bored, so let's go. Okay. 2 cups flour.
That's a bit more than 1 cup.
That's about right. Currently, when you're doing croissants, everything needs to be perfect. Unfortunately, we don't have a weighing scale, so it's not going to be perfect anyway. Which is okay, you know? It all comes out the same. Not out of the oven. After you eat it. 70 mils water. 1/4 cup milk. And you've got to make sure you don't buy cold milk. Because I think sometime last year, they upped the price about 10 cents a bottle, 10 cents a litre or something, and they said they were giving it to the farmers, and ended up not giving it to the farmers anyway, so don't buy Coles milk. That's a trade secret. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Two 2 teaspoons yeast. That's a lot of yeast. Is that right? 1 teaspoon salt. 40 grams should be unsalted, but at this time it's salted. Salted butter. And grab your weapon of choice. And just... And ideally, you want everything to be kind of cold. So cold milk, cold water, butter preferably not cold. But just mix it all together. I think this is the part where I'm supposed to tell funny jokes, because it's not really fun to watch.
No, you're speeding this up.
I'll come up with some funny jokes. Choose your desired surface. Thank you. If you can't afford a rolling pin, just get a wine bottle, which, in my opinion, is actually better than a rolling pin, because you'll never find a wood that is more inert than wine bottle glass. You know, make sure you get what are your reds or your whites. Make sure they don't have that champagne shape, you know. You want that nice flat surface. If you want a really long rolling pin, then you're just going to have to pay good money for it. Glass doesn't have the flexural strength for a long rolling pin. When you're rolling, you just gotta feel the dough, see which direction it wants to go. See here, it's quite thin, so I want to push it that way. And that's the power of having something that is a bit smaller, rather than a big, long piece. You can control the majority of the dough. You can control it. You can fine-tune your dough. At this stage, it doesn't really matter if the edges are very thin, because you're just going to fold them over each other anyway. And then slide up the whole thing. There's no space in the fridge. So to make the butter for laminating, 140 grams of butter. I think this is maybe there, maybe not. Who knows? So that's centimeter thick, and then this bit calls for some
Simple geometry.
I want to make a 13 centimeter square. How do I do that, you ask? No clue. This is why you need the baking paper, because it's a bit messy. Then what you do, cover it in baking paper. And this is where a glass rolling pin really doesn't cut it, because I'm not used to that. You're supposed to panel beat it, right? But obviously you don't want to do it with glass, like crushing ice in the glass. So, a wonderful alternative we have, if you can't afford a rolling pin, is a bottle full of water. It's actually working better than I thought it would. And then just pop those pieces in the middle. Because you really do want a perfect square. And what you're aiming for at the end is 10 by 10 centimeter square, maybe 10 and a half. I think that's about right. And then we just go again. Just don't press too hard when you're... Otherwise that happens and it's no longer square. That's beyond repair. Let's just put it in the fridge, call it quits for a day.
No, put it back together. Just push it back together. It's just like pushed apart. Please cut it. I think we need aircon for this. The outer layer is melting.
Yeah. You really want to do this really quick before the butter melts. Right, does that look like 10 centimeter square to you? That's about right. Okay,
There's
let's go.
measurements on the mat. There's measurements on the cutting thing too.
Alright, it kind of looks like a square. Fold it up. Badly gift wrap Christmas present. Put it in the fridge. 80 layers. Now, this is some geometry magic. You have to watch this. Right, we've got a square of butter. I'm going to turn that butter into a rhombus. Right, and then you fold the corners in. And what you do, I made it way too big. What you want to do is cover it completely. So you want to have some overlap, which is why I said before it's okay if it's a bit thin at the edges, because it ends up overlapping anyway. Right, there you go. Good old Christmas present. I don't like the look of that, so I usually turn it over. Now, the problem with turning it over is you can't see if anything's leaking out. Make sure there's nothing leaking out there. I'll turn it back over because I don't want to see that. See that right there? So that's what you, because if it keeps doing that, you're gonna break the skin. You're gonna lose all your layers. You're gonna lose that lamination. So what you really should do is put it back in the fridge. The warmer it is, the easier it is to roll. It's very tempting to just easy to roll, make your life easier. Just roll it out. But that's what ruins all your layers. So I put this in the fridge, and I took it out and folded it. You see it's broken there, which is not what you want, but you are going to see layers there. And you see the butter ends about there, so hopefully if we fold it a few more times I'll fix all the problems. But we're just going to keep going and see what we can get. Actually, I might perform some emergency repairs. We're just going to keep going and see how it goes. Same again from the middle outwards. Ooh.
No.
Fold, and they say...
What about the envelope fold?
What?
What about the envelope fold?
What's that?
It's the one that you fold like 2/3 up and then the other one's like 1/3 down, and then that's supposed to be like the secret to making croissants.
I don't know what you're talking about. back into the fridge. You've got to be really careful with these bottles. Put your hand there, it could end up scratching you in your hand. And always get up and down because this is obviously much easier than going this way. This is melting as we speak. So we've finished rolling them. As many folds as you want. You're going to need about 80 layers. And then cut them into triangles. I've already done the ugly ones. So these ones are the ones that are camera worthy. This one's going to stretch out quite a bit, so you're going to start from the middle and stretch downwards. And then just design this how you want. Just clean the cover. And this one at the tip here, you just want to make it as long as you can. As long as you can. And because the tip is less bread, pastry, whatever you want to call it, you don't need to push as hard, otherwise you end up breaking it. And just pick it up and just roll it up with your fingers. And you've got to work quick because this is melting as we speak. And then do that and then bend it towards yourself. Just like that.
Ta-da! Oh, look at that. It looks like I bought it from a store.
No, it's not sharp.
Are you peeking?
I can't cut it. That doesn't look very cash money. Tastes like a biscuit. It's very salty. I mean, if you listen to this, it's got that crunch. The texture's not right.
It just doesn't have the layers to be properly crispy.
It has the layers. The layers aren't far apart enough. See that? And then it's covered in fish.
Yeah, I don't know. If you have dough touching each other, that like completely ruin the whole thing already, because that means the butter's not going to spread beyond where the dough is touching. And then like you're not going to get perfect layers. You're going to get like a huge chunk of just like a huge wall of dough and then pockets of batter. You're making something closer to a pie crust than you are to a croissant or puff pastry. She'll be alright.
This is what happens when you actually proof them. It's supposed to look like this.
Oh, it's supposed to.
And then you poke it. It doesn't come back all the way. Oh no, look at that, they're touching. I think it kind of worked. Oh, it's so soft inside.
Next minute.
Just looks like bread.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh, I'm so disappointed. What did I do wrong this time?
Because a vision softly
The yeast worked this time.
left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision
And, I mean, it's bread.
that was planted in my brain still remains
It's better than last time.
within the sound.
But it's not quite there. Here's what you 100% should not do. Gotta see how it turns out. Because I accidentally used double the pastry. You can see here, there's lumps of butter. That's what happens when you put too much water in. See how it's still quite squishy even though it's been in the fridge. So the dough is very soft and the butter's very hard. So when you press it down, the butter comes through. The hard butter pokes through the soft dough, and you get lobs like this. So we're just gonna keep layering it and putting flour in between, and hopefully that flour is gonna separate it. But honestly, I don't know how this is gonna go. Third attempt croissant unboxing video. We goofed up the dough, so expectations are rock bottom, which means they can only go up from here. I've got a pretty good feeling about this one, even though expectations are rock bottom. Hey, that's pretty good. That's actually alright. Does that look good?
Yeah.
That's the closest we've been. How did I get here after goofing up so bad?
Story of your life.
Alright, there's a crunch test. It's good. It's not crunched like the first one. It's got that inside texture, you know.